Hello and welcome to Brodual. This time we have a mod by the name of Campfire. This is a standalone complete camping system for Skyrim that comes from the same author that created Frostfall. It's the perfect mod for anyone that wants to use the camping features from Frostfall but without having to adhere to the survival features from the extremely popular Overhaul. So now you can use the mod alongside another realistic needs mod, or you can simply play through the game with a robust camping system alone. If you're familiar with Frostfall, then you'll probably still be interested in checking it out, because the Campfire mod will actually act as the main file to the upcoming Frostfall 3.0 update. So there are a few new features that you won't be familiar with, and there's a pretty significant update that I'll cover towards the end of the video. The camping system adds dozens of new items to the game, that can all be forged or crafted using items found in the wilds of Skyrim. Some of them can be found at the regular old tanning rack, but most are created using a new menu system. When you install the mod, you'll be automatically given 3 new powers. The most simple of the 3 lets you search the area for resources. So you simply just navigate the menu and select an option, and then after a few seconds you'll have some basic resources like branches and stones. Then you can use another one of the powers to create more complex tools using items you've harvested. Some of these will just require stones and branches like the stone hatchet, but others will require more items, like maybe a type of fur or some thicker pieces of wood, which you can get by hunting and chopping down trees using your new hatchet. And then finally you can use the last power to actually build and place your campfire. It's also worth noting that the placement system of the mod is significantly better than other mods with similar placing features. There's no finicky coordinates to change, and the objects slot in nicely pretty much anywhere that's reasonably flat. One of the best things about the mod is the amount of variety and options you have when creating camps. Maybe sometimes you only want a small fire for yourself and your dog, but then maybe another time you're running around with 3 companions and want a huge blaze for all to see. Well, depending on the amount and the type of resources you use, you can create several different camp sizes. Bigger camps will also reward you with uplifting buffs that boost your skills growth rate. The campfires also won't burn forever, and you'll actually have to keep the blaze alight by offering some form of kindling or fuel, which is a nice touch for immersion. The same logic is applied to all areas of the mod, so the way you harvest resources isn't a one-way street either. Instead of using the new hatchet, you can chop wood the old-fashioned way, or you could just head to a merchant if you prefer to spend your gold over your time. The mod also works exceptionally well alongside hunting mods like Hunterborn, which we know is a popular mod amongst players that are also fond of camping. The campfire is the very core of a basic camp. It offers light, a place for you and your followers to sit around, and you can also cook up some food. Once you get familiar with your surroundings, you'll probably end up expanding on it with a bedroll and even a tent. These can be placed straight from your inventory by right clicking on them, and then they're physically placed on the ground just like the campfires. You can build a fur tent or a leather tent in both small and large varieties. They can potentially support up to 3 followers and 1 animal, and they'll actually interact and sleep inside the tent with you, which is a nice touch for immersion and an improvement over the current version of Frostfall. It's also important to keep in mind that all of these items, literally every single one of them, can be created by a man and his bare hands while in the wilds of Skyrim. You technically need nothing to start with, but of course a well-equipped character is going to find it easier than a naked one. If you ever feel like you need something like a tanning rack or other tool, then you'll probably end up finding it in the Create an Item menu. The mod also adds some camping related gear too. There's the iconic cloaks and backpacks that a lot of people associate with Frostfall. In Frostfall, the cloaks will actually serve a purpose and protect you from the cold and rain, but without the hypothermia features, they'll simply just be for show. The backpacks however are still useful, because on top of giving a nice bonus to your carry weight, they'll also interact with the items in your inventory and change their appearance accordingly. So if you're carrying a torch, a tent, a bedroll or one of a few other items, it'll actually display on your backpack as you can see on screen now. The big feature that I mentioned earlier is the new Campfire dev kit. You can basically think of this as Modception, and it lets anyone make unique camping equipment to place around the campfire without writing any code. So for example, you could add something like igloos for the colder regions or vampire coffins to use instead of bedrolls. What's great is that these new items can actually be released separately as their own mods, so hopefully over the coming weeks we'll have a huge variety of camping equipment packs available. If you're interested in the dev kit, then you can find everything you need down below, including simple tutorials. There's also a contest going on right now to see who can make the best equipment, so we'll include that too. Overall, Campfire is the ultimate standalone camping mod for Skyrim. The improvements to companion interactivity and the new campfire styles are a great step forward. The system is intuitive and extremely easy to use, so it also acts as a stepping stone onto more complex mods. If you're in the middle of Skyrim playthroughs and are looking for another game to play, then you should check out G2A.com for some cheap games. Thanks to our partnership with them, you can get 3% off using the discount code MODS at the checkout. It helps us out and you can get some great cheap games too. And until next time, thanks for watching.